Kawa with the news making headlines around the world. The acting Premier and Foreign Minister briefs the cabinet session on the outcome of his tour to Jeddah, Jordan, Palestine and France. Kuwaiti Consul General in Hong Kong says all Kuwaitis are safe in light of the ongoing protests. President Obama admits the U.S. underestimated the IS as coalition presses ahead with airstrikes. And Afghanistan inaugurates Ashraf Ghani as president amid ongoing violence. In our first item, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at Bayan Palace today the acting Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at Bayan Palace today credentials of Mr. Mohammad Aslam Khan as the Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. His Highness also received the credentials of Mr. Nguyen Hong Tao as the Ambassador of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. The credential presentation ceremony was attended by His Excellency the First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, Deputy Minister of the Amiri Diwan Affairs Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al-Sabah, the Under-Secretary of the Amiri Diwan Ibrahim Muhammad Al-Shatti, the Director of His Highness the Emir's Office Ahmed Fahd Al-Fahd, the Advisor at the Amiri Diwan Muhammad Abdullah Abu Al-Hassan, Head of the Amiri Protocols and Ceremonies Sheikh Khalid Al-Abdullah Sabah Al-Nasir Al-Sabah, the Director of the Protocols Department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Dari Ajran Al-Ajran, and the Commander of the Amiri Guard Major General Abdullah Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Sabah. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at Bayan Palace today the outgoing Mexican ambassador to the State of Kuwait, Luis Alberto Barrero Starr. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received a cable of congratulations from His Excellency Pranab Mukherjee of the Republic of India, in which he congratulated His Highness the Emir on Kuwait being named as Humanitarian Center and himself as Humanitarian Leader by the United Nations. He said that this honoring came in recognition and appreciation of His Highness and the State of Kuwait's great efforts at the international humanitarian levels. The Indian President also praised the support and contributions of His Highness the Emir to the humanitarian work across the world, which enhanced the image of the State of Kuwait at the international levels. His Highness the Emir sent a reply cable thanking President Pranab Mukherjee for his sincere wishes and congratulations on the State of Kuwait being named as Humanitarian Center and His Highness as Humanitarian Leader by the United Nations. His Highness highly appreciated the praise of the Indian President to the contributions and support being provided by the State of Kuwait to humanitarian actions all over the world, saying that those sincere wishes represented the good relations between the two countries and their people. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah's envoy, His Highness Sheikh Nasser Al Mohammed Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, left today noon for the United Arab Emirates. The Emir's envoy will deliver a written letter from His Highness the Emir to UAE President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Sheikh Nasser was seen off by the Deputy Minister of the Emiri Diwan Affairs, Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al Sabah. The envoy of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, His Highness Sheikh Nasser Al Mohammed Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, arrived in Abu Dhabi Airport this afternoon carrying a written message from His Highness the Emir to His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates. His Highness was received at the airport by His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Presidency Affairs, and Kuwait's Ambassador to the UAE Saleh Libaijan, and the embassy staff. The envoy of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, His Highness Sheikh Nasser Al Mohammed Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, delivered a written message from His Highness the Emir to His Highness the Emir Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates. The message contained His Highness the Emir's thanks and appreciation to the brotherly initiative, which reflected the deepest meaning of interactions and affection between the State of Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates and their people, as represented in sharing the State of Kuwait its celebration for being honored by the United Nations and named as Humanitarian Center, and His Highness the Emir as Humanitarian Leader. His Highness the Emir also wished the United Arab Emirates and its people all the best of progress and prosperity under His Highness' leadership. The envoy of His Highness the Emir delivered the letter to the First Lieutenant General, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces this afternoon. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received at Bayan Palace today the Acting Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the Minister of Public Works, Minister of Water and Electricity, Abdulaziz Abdulatif Al Ibrahim. The Cabinet met in a weekly session at Bayan Palace today under the chairmanship of His Excellency the Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. The Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs and Acting Minister of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs, Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah Al Mubarak Al Sabah, said the Acting Premier and Foreign Minister extended at the outset of the meeting deep congratulations to His Highness the Emir, His Highness the Crown Prince and the Honourable people of Kuwait on the advent of Eid al-Adha, praying to Almighty God for many happy returns of this blessed occasion to our Arab and Muslim nations. The cabinet then took note of two messages to His Highness the Emir from the presidents of Angola and Honduras related to bilateral relations. The cabinet was also briefed by the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister about his tour to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Palestine and France. He pointed out to the agreement reached by those countries joining a strategy designed to confront the so-called Islamic State in Iraq and other terrorist groups. The strategy included putting an end to terrorism and providing aid to the affected population. The acting Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs also explained to the meeting the outcome of his talks with President Mahmoud Abbas, which covered a wide range of subjects, on top of which was the projected international conference for reconstruction of the Gaza Strip in the aftermath of the Israeli aggression. Sheikh Sabah al-Khalid al-Sabah also briefed the cabinet on his meeting with His Majesty King Abdullah II bin al-Hussein of Jordan. He also outlined the results of the Peace and Security in Iraq conference in Paris, in which he took part. The conference discussed ways of extending support for Iraq to face the terrorist attacks of the so-called Islamic State. Kuwaiti Consul General in Hong Kong, Khalid Limteri, assured today that all Kuwaitis are safe with the rising tension and clashes between police and rebels. Limteri told Kuwait News Agency by telephone that Kuwait Consulate in Hong Kong is closely monitoring the conditions of Kuwaiti citizens and called on all Kuwaitis to take extreme caution and care and to avoid the main streets where the demonstrations are taking place. Limteri noted that citizens should contact the consulate in case of emergency or queries on 852-2832-7866 or 852-982-11669. Thousands of pro-democracy protesters remained camped out on major highways in the heart of Hong Kong today, defying government attempts to both coerce and cajole them into giving up their extraordinary demonstration. The protests have brought widespread disruption to the heart of one of Asia's biggest financial centers, blocking traffic on multi-lane roads and prompting the suspension of school classes. A police crackdown on demonstrators yesterday involving tear gas, batons and pepper spray resulted in clashes that injured more than 40 people but failed to eject the protesters from their positions among the city's glittering skyscrapers. The government adopted a more conciliatory approach today, saying it had withdrawn riot police from the protest areas. It urged people to disperse and allow traffic to return to the roads. President Barack Obama admitted that the United States underestimated the threat posed by the Islamic State fighters in Syria as the U.S.-led coalition pressed its air campaign against the militant groups today. Obama said Washington had also overestimated the effectiveness of the security forces in neighboring Iraq, which it had trained and supplied, but which collapsed across much of rebels north and west of Baghdad in the face of a lightning offensive led by the IS in June. A monitoring group said as the U.S.-led air campaign in Syria entered its 7th day, coalition strikes hit IS targets during the night, both in its Raqqa province stronghold and in Aleppo province further west. Afghanistan inaugurated today its first new president in a decade, swearing in technocrat Ashraf Ghani to head a power-sharing government just as the withdrawal of most foreign troops present a crucial test. The first democratic handover of power in Afghanistan's history has been far from smooth. The deal for a unity government was cobbled together after months of deadlock over a vote in which both Ghani and opponent Abdallah claimed victory. Illustrating the problems facing the new president, 2 bombs killed at least 15 people as Ghani was sworn in. One blast near Kabul airport killed at least 7 people. A second attack in eastern Patke province left another 8 dead, officials said. A government official said that Taliban group has claimed responsibility for both attacks. 7 Ukrainian soldiers were killed and 27 injured when separatist shelling hit their armored vehicle near Donetsk airport in eastern Ukraine. Military spokesman Andrei Lysenko said tank fire from the separatists struck a large armored carrier during rebel attempts to storm Donetsk International Airport, which is held by government forces. It was the largest loss of life among Ukrainian soldiers in a single incident since the ceasefire came into force on the 5th of September. Moreover, Moscow denies its troops have played any direct part in the conflict or armed the separatists, despite what Kiev and Western governments said is incontrovertible proof. The World Economic Forum's WEF two-day special meeting in Istanbul kicked off with the aim of shedding light on Turkey's transition against the backdrop of regional challenges. The WEF special meeting focused on 4 pillars that will be central to future regional growth. More details with Nadia Ali.
A group monitoring the war in Syria said today U.S.-led airstrikes hit grain silos and other targets in IS-controlled territory in northern and eastern Syria overnight, killing civilians and wounding militants. The aircraft may have mistaken the mills and grain storage areas in the northern Syrian town of Manbij for an IS base, said the Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. There was no immediate comment from Washington. The United States has targeted the IS and other fighters in Syria since last week with the help of Arab allies and in Iraq since last month. It aims to damage and destroy the bases, forces, and supply lines of the Al-Qaeda offshoot, which has captured large areas of both countries. Rami Abdurrahman, who runs the observatory, which gathers information from sources in Syria, said the strikes in Manbij appeared to have killed only civilians, not fighters. He could not give a number of casualties, and it was not immediately possible to verify the information. Manbij sits between Aleppo city in the west and the town of Kobani on the northern border with Turkey, which the IS has been trying to capture from Kurdish forces, forcing tens of thousands of Syrian Kurds to flee over the frontier. The observatory said Syria's army also carried out air raids in Aleppo province overnight, targeting areas east of Aleppo city with barrel bombs and other projectiles. The army also carried out airstrikes in Hama in western Syria. Meanwhile, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called for a no-fly zone over Syria, adding that the U.S.-led airstrikes are only a temporary solution in the fight against extremists from the IS group. Speaking at the opening session of the World Economic Forum in Istanbul, Erdogan also said humanitarian aid must urgently be delivered to Syria, which shares a 910-kilometer border with Turkey. The recent surge in battles between Kurdish fighters and IS militants in the northern Syrian town of Kobani has sent over 160,000 people fleeing into neighboring Turkey. At the two-day forum's introductory news conference, Turkey's Minister for European Union Affairs said the timing of the meeting was crucial as the conflict in the region is threatening peace, security, and stability across the globe. Some 600 participants from over 70 countries are expected to discuss challenges facing Turkey, Europe, and the Middle East.
Iran and 6 world powers will resume their nuclear talks in Vienna, aimed at brokering a historic deal by November the 24th deadline. Negotiators from 6 world powers are seeking to reach a deal to scale back Tehran's nuclear activities by the deadline. Western powers fear Tehran is using its nuclear program as a cover to develop nuclear weapons. However, Iran said it has only peaceful intentions. 5 more bodies were found near the summit of Mount Ontake, west of Tokyo, Japan, bringing the total presumed dead to 36 today, as toxic gases and ash from the still erupting mountain forced rescue workers to halt efforts to recover the victims. Saturday's eruption was the first fatal one in modern times at the mountain. Hundreds of hikers were initially trapped on the slopes, though most made their way down by yesterday. Family members were brought to the nearby town of Kiso to help identify those bodies that have been recovered. And moving on to local business news, Kuwait Stock Exchange ended today's trading session all in red zone. The weight index recorded 494.22 points, losing 1.48 points. The price index reached 7,608.56 points, shedding 52.49 points, and the KSX 15 reached 1,205.03, going down 1.12 points. The number of trades amounted to 7,113 transactions worth about 33 million Kuwaiti dinars, with around 347 million shares changing hands. And in our final item tonight, Kuwait's national squash team returned today after a vigorous and successful contribution to the 17th Asian Games, bringing home gold and bronze medals. This year's Asian Games combine a total of 45 nations from across the continent and is considered the second largest multi-sport event after the Olympics. Reporter Badriya Saleh has more in this report.
His Excellency Sheikh Salman Al-Hamoud Al-Salem Al-Sabah, Minister of Information and Minister for State of Youth Affairs, along with representatives of Kuwait's National Squash Federation, gathered early this morning to greet the national team as they returned from participating at the 17th Asian Games. It was a joyous reunion, awarded that this year Kuwait brought home 2 medals.
I'd like to express my happiness here today in the VIP lounge in Kuwait airport, receiving our champions from the Squash Sport Federation after achieving their Asian Games medal in gold and bronze. I do really praise and congratulate the outstanding achievement of the Squash Sport Federation within the Asian Games, especially recognizing our champion Abdullah Al-Mzayyin, who achieved the gold medal. Asia is known for squash, and achieving that in the Asian Games, it's a big achievement where I would like to congratulate Squash Sport Federation President Mr. Walid Al-Sma'i and members of the board for their excellent preparation for such game. Also, looking forward that they will continue with their efforts to put Kuwait achievements high.
Well, I'm very happy to be here when I'm arriving in Kuwait and I see all the people, especially Sheikh Salman. He welcomed me, and yeah, I'm very happy to be here and watch my friends, my brother, and hopefully I can do much better for the next tournament. For this one, the gold medal, I'm very happy for that. But I will not stop for that. I will do much better next tournament.
On Tuesday, Abdullah Al-Mzayyin won Kuwait's first gold medal at the 17th Asian Games after beating Indian rival Ghosal Surav. The team also brought home bronze after losing against Indian counterpart 0-2.
Today, our team arrived to Kuwait from Korea Incheon. They have a bronze medal at team and gold medal at individual. We would like to congratulate for all Kuwaiti people and for Highness the Amir and for our federation. This good things happen to Kuwait. This is first time we take gold medal individual and first time we take bronze medal. And we will hope to continue these things in next years.
The new awarded medals brings Kuwait's tally up to 6 medals, 1 gold and 1 bronze in squash, 3 silver and 1 bronze in shooting competitions.
Though they just hopped off the plane and are still weary with jet lag, the team is already discussing training for next month's tournament in Qatar. At VIP Lounge at Kuwait International Airport, I'm Badriya Saleh reporting for the English News.
For reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. Well, with that, we conclude our news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant time. I'm Maham Pawa. Before we go, we remind you once again of our main top stories. Have a pleasant time and good night. The acting Premier and Foreign Minister briefs the cabinet session on the outcome of his tour to Jeddah, Jordan, Palestine and France. Kuwaiti Consul General in Hong Kong says all Kuwaitis are safe in light of the ongoing protest. President Obama admits the U.S. underestimated the IS as coalition presses ahead with airstrikes. And Afghanistan inaugurates Ashraf Ghani as president amid ongoing violence.